guess where I am? We're on the deck of the new house. And we don't have a lake, but we do have some lovely trees. So that's okay. Hey everybody, it's me, Margaret. We are in Mississippi still. We have not moved yet, but last week we closed on our house in Atlanta, hence the clip that you saw just a minute ago. So we've had several people say, oh, give us a tour. And no, we're not going to give you a tour of the new house, just as you've never really had a tour of this house. What you see in the background is what you're going to get. My family's really supportive of my YouTube addiction, and yet they want to draw the line as far as certain privacy things go. So no, I'm not going to take you around with the camera and say, this is the living room, and this, you know, just not going to happen. Now, as I've told you before, it's 7.5 hour drive from here to there. So when I was cleaning and packing, I found this book that I had. It makes, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these lovey blankets. And it's a great book. It's a great pattern. It's that Leisure Arts series that you've probably seen before. I love the way some of the way they print the patterns with lots of spaces between each row, because it's great for just glancing very quickly at your work. But I want to tell you, there are free patterns for these that look almost exactly like these all over the internet. Excuse me, all over the internet. So would I recommend this book? Yeah, this book is great. But if you don't want to pay for it, you can find things like this everywhere. As a matter of fact, this bunny rabbit right here, Yolanda Soto Lopez, does a video tutorial, virtually that exact same blanket. Now, it's kind of funny about me and these lovey blankets. For the longest time, I was just not impressed or drawn to these for any reason. Then all of a sudden, when I pulled this out of my, I don't know where it was hiding, but it was not with my other books, I thought, I just have to make those. So I don't know why. Now, I have never been a fan of big traditional granny squares, but I went ahead and followed this pattern as it was written. I am making the owl. Let me show you the owl right here. And because I'm using yarn that I already had, and I didn't have enough of the other colors, which seemed kind of, you know, appropriate. Like, I didn't want to make a purple or blue or whatever puppy dog or bear, and of course a penguin must be black and white or you can't really tell it's a penguin, right? Sock monkeys have to be gray and maroon and white because that's just what sock monkeys are. So and then the bunny, I suppose I could have made the bunny, but for whatever reason I felt compelled to make this owl. So on our journey, I made 2 of these. This is the little head. It's tiny. Of course, I have to stuff it and put the eyes on. I've made all the pieces and parts. I just need to put it together. But I thought it was cute. But to make the rest of these, I think I'm either going to do a solid granny or a different type of some, I don't know, some kind of stitch, because I've never been a fan of this typical traditional granny square for whatever reason. Now, after we closed on the house, it was about lunchtime, and so we ended up meeting our nephew who lives over there for lunch, and he told us about this place near where the closing office was, where the lawyer's office was, which was not near our house, that it was just a lot of outdoor shopping type thing. It's relatively new. It was just so nice. We're in the cutest little area in Woodstock right now, and I'm right outside of this precious little store. And can you see these crochet bags right back here? Absolutely adorable. They're made out of a different kind of twine, sort of a polyester type thing. So pretty. See, aren't they cute? They have a zipper top or whatever. I might need to get me one of those. They're lined with pockets. So after we had this long leisurely lunch with Justin and his friend, we went over to the house. Now, we had packed the car full of things that we didn't trust the movers with or things that were extremely awkward to pack, like Matilda. And here we put Matilda in my yarn room. Now, we didn't take any video of the yarn room when we were there, but I'll give you a quick little clip of the very first time we saw the house. It has the other people's stuff in it. They used it as an exercise room. And then this is what they use for an exercise room. Big old closet right there. Now, there is a big closet in that room, and I don't know, I don't have a plan for my yarn storage yet, but thoughts and ideas keep popping up in my head all the time. So I don't know if they're going in the closet or if they're going in the wall. I don't know yet. Okay, so when we left the house, we decided to go exploring our area. This was a Thursday, so Thomas was still in school, so we couldn't hang out with him or anything. So we just kind of drove around just to see what was there. We ran upon an antique store. So we went in there, and what did we find but an old mail sorting wall mount type thing. I just loved it, and it would be perfect for yarn, but it was $495, and I just couldn't justify that at the time. So I'm going to have to get creative, especially when I had recently seen some cube options that were very affordably priced at Walmart. So I looked at Walmart, and you can get this 9-cube organizer for $38.96. So essentially I could buy 4 of these for 6 feet tall by 6 feet wide and pay $160 roughly. But then I looked up here where it says better prices. I use Avast for my virus protection, and it offers this little thing right here where it helps you search. And it says that Target has these things for about $24. So I checked out Target's site, and that is not true. First of all, they don't have the white in this 9-cube configuration. And the prices go from $40 to $44. So that was incorrect information. So goodbye to Target and back to Walmart. And that's just a better deal than this antique mail slot, which, although it was really cool, it was $490-something, I think. Yeah. We're in Michael's, and we are killing time, and I just found something here that I've never seen before. It is this Bernat marker home deck. Is that what it says? Oh no, Bernat maker. But it's really, see if you can see it, really neat. It's kind of expensive at $9.99, but lots of pretty colors. And if you could just feel this, it just feels so good. I really like it. Now I gotta pick that up. You remember Brian, my friend who sent me this scarf? Well, I made the scarf, of course. It was the kit. I saw these in the Michael's in Georgia. They're still not in my Michael's, but I did. Well, I had it blocked, but now the little ear is bending again. I need to take this tag off, I think. And I still have yet to put it on here. But anyway, Brian has started his own podcast, and he is adorable. Lots of information packed into a reasonable amount of time for you to watch. And I'm going to put the link down there. He's got a great personality, and I think you'll enjoy it. Now, for the time leading up to the move, I am going to work on finishing up projects like this and my little owl blankie and things like that. I have a lot of things that I need to finish up. My cat, for example, I think I packed the cat, the Twiddle Muff cat that I had done. But because I keep starting things and I just need to finish them. Like I started this, for example. This is a front post, back post hat, very heavy. I was just trying to use up the yarn that I had, put this giant palm on it. Love it. This was Kieran Simply Soft. The color is called Robin's Egg, and I think of a robin's egg as being blue, but this is definitely has a lot of green in this blue. Kind of, to me, I see seafoam green, but whatever. But anyway, I made the big palm on the top, and I really like that. Shouldn't see I packed up the heads, or I would model it for you. That palm looks funny when you hold it up, but when you put it on and it fills out, it just looks better. So anyhow, done that, and this is the Better Late Than Never beanie. I've done these a million times. I have the pattern memorized, and it's just a very practical crochet hat. So I did a lot of crochet this week. This is the yarn that's left over, which I have a ton of it. I could probably have gotten, I don't know, 4 or 5 owls out of this arrangement here. But I had this out and Dancing with the Stars was on, and so I just started that and finished it. Easy, quick hat. It's good. So after I finish up those things, I will go ahead and cast on this. It was the Luette yarn in the flax that I showed you earlier. It's called Euroflax 100% wet spun linen, and it's summertime. Summer is coming, so this is a perfect yarn for that. Now this was sent to me by the Luette company. I have never worked with it yet, so I'm going to give you my opinion of that once I cast on. So what I'm doing with this Euroflax yarn is the Hermosa Tea by Robin Allen. I'll try to insert a picture of it here, but I think it's going to be perfect with this yarn. But you know, summertime, linen, those are just, they just go hand in hand. So I'm looking forward to working with it and seeing how I like it and how it turns out, how it works up. My mother and grandmother used to have these sayings, the mark of a lady, when they were trying to get me to act ladylike. One thing, the mark of a lady, is how you walk in your high heel shoes. And I never really had much trouble with that. And I guess it was because of the years of dance that I had. But I recently saw a meme that somebody had posted that said, high heel shoes cease to be sexy if you walk like a newborn calf. And that is so true. So if you can't walk in your high heel shoes, do as my mother suggests and put them on and walk around your house until you feel comfortable walking with straight legs in them. Don't keep your legs bent and walk like a newborn calf. That was so funny to me. And then another mark of a lady is how one wears linen. Linen is pretty expensive for the most part. And if you look like you have slept in your clothes when you wear linen, that is not a mark of a lady. And by the way, I'm keeping that project in my extra large size Sheepishly Sharing bag that Erin made me. Give me yarn 418. And you too can have a Sheepishly Sharing bag if you contact her or me. I suppose I can arrange that for you. But isn't that nice? I just loved it. I like the innards, as Brian says, the lining. Brian can do everything, and you'll see if you go look at his podcast. He can sew, he can spin, he can dye, he can do whatever. So I want to give a special shout out to Sarah, who is Crunchiest One on Ravelry. She has volunteered to be moderator to the group and to help spice the things up, especially while I'm in the middle of the move, to get a little bit more activity going on our group. And I can see already that it's beginning to pick up a little bit. So that's great. We have 274 members at the moment. So I'm not closing this down. I think we can really make this a fun group. Here I am in the throes of packing, and I've got some useful randomness to share with you. If you or anybody in your household is studying Shakespeare, I want to make sure you know about this series. It's called Shakespeare Side by Side Plain English, and it's wonderful. No Fear Shakespeare. It looks like this. You have the original text here, and then you have the regular English, like today's English right here. So you know exactly what's going on. Thomas has been doing Shakespeare every year since, like, I don't know, the 6th or 7th grade. And this by far helps with the comprehension. It helps to retain the information too when you hear it in everyday English. I want to thank Defender of the Week, who gave a great idea when we were talking about those weighted blankets. She suggested, or he suggested, I'm not exactly sure by that name, buckshot or crushed walnut shells. Crushed walnut shells is used for reptile bedding. So That, and it's very inexpensive. I've never felt it, but I have felt buckwheat. I don't know how heavy crushed walnut shells are, but it's worth looking into, and a natural solution as well. Now, last week, too, we were talking about quiet books and how that they were second cousins to twiddle muffs, and that they can, here's one right here that was actually crocheted, one of the pages. Wonderful for dementia patients, for children. Super ideas. Well, one of the things that you can do is make a little crackle pad. And I know you've seen this, like in cat toys, where you just touch it and it makes a crackling sound. Brilliant Maribel came up with a great, inexpensive substitute for the crackly stuff in cat toys. The clear plastic, quote-unquote, window in mailing envelopes. It sounds exactly like what you find in cat toys, or they're also in baby toys. You just sandwich it between two pieces of fabric. Wasn't that genius? Now, I'm not sure if this is the same Maribel or not because the YouTube username is different, but if y'all will indulge me just a minute, I want to send Mary Baru 35 a big, giant virtual hug. She had some extra sock yarn. She has received a whole bunch of it and was going to be generous enough to send it to me, but since I'm in the middle of this move right now, it's just not a practical thing, and I just can't get over her generosity for that. So, Maribel, I am hugging you. Can you feel it? Thank you so much for thinking of me. It's been 10 years since our last move, yet I remember this game vividly. And now, jumping back to that idea of the crinkly square, we have Defender of the Wheat again with a brilliant suggestion. Now, I'm quoting, I cut 2 pieces of fabric and 1 from a potato chip bag, all the same size. Sew around 3 sides, then turn it inside out and slip stitch it closed. Next, I quilt a grid on the sewing machine. Voila, the noisemaker that keeps babies entertained. I think it would work for your muff. Yes, for the muff, for the activity blankets, for the quiet books, whatever you're making. Genius idea. I like the idea of quilting. I didn't think about that. Not only will it give more texture, but it would also make sure it stays in place. Perfect, inexpensive alternative. You use scraps and essentially trash from the potato chip bag. Perfect. Now here's more useful randomness, and thanks to Shauna Bell for that term. I'm going to use it for the rest of my life. This is a show that Thomas turned me on to. It's on True TV called Hack My Life, and it's pretty darn funny. And if you look down here, they have an episode within it, a little clip within it called The Lazy Cook, and I'm like, that's me. Remember how I tell you I'm the cheater cook? Well, I just am so drawn to this show. I just love it. We learned a great tip from this show where you use a regular old walnut, like the kind that you eat, and you rub it on a scratch and it makes the scratch disappear. So I tried it. Okay, you see the scratch in the banister? Thomas and I were watching Hack My Life, and it says rub a walnut on it, it'll make it disappear. So Tucker, you hold this camera and let's see if it disappears. Okay, ready? First you rub the walnut. And then you do this. And look at the magic. Isn't that crazy? You can still kind of see it. Ta-da! Do you have a bathtub with these non-skid things on them that just don't seem to want to get clean? Well, I've lived with this for years. I just came across a blog that talks about this product, so I bought some. It's kind of pricey, but I'm about to test it. First, I'm going to read the instructions. Alright, so here's the instructions that it came with, and here's a picture. You can see it's that non-skid stuff that keep you from slipping, and it just never gets clean. Here's an example. Sometimes you may have a shower that's like this, and it's, I promise, you clean it like crazy, but it's just stained. It won't get off. Alright, so it claims it's going to look like that, and it claims this tub right here is going to look like that. Now, the person whose blog I read said it's going to work, so let's see. And I think I forgot to mention they sent this scrubby thing. It's pretty rough. I hope it's not scratching anything, and it falls apart. Can you see the little black wiry things that have fallen off? So, interesting. Don't have any idea what it's made of. Wow. I say this is a win. Yeah. Okay, what's this stuff called? ROG. I have no idea what it stands for. Now, it came in a set of two. This ROG1 and then the other one, the blue, where did that go? Oh, over here. The blue stuff that you squirt first was called ROG3. And they say sometimes you just need one, not the other, or something like that. I can't remember, but it came together, so I used them together. And wow, look at that. Very impressive. That's my shadow, by the way. Very impressive. Haha. But I have to ask you, why? Why did it take me 10 years before I found this stuff? This is great! So, I think that's all the useful randomness I have for you today. Quoting Shauna Bell, which is genius. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.